Albert, I just caught a glimpse of the latest edition, and it's for certain now. The Traveling Circus from Outer Space opens at 10 in the morning. Oh, and check this out, Wilbur added. See inside for entry blanks for the Star Zip Trip. I'll read the instructions. Star Zip Trip. In so many words or less, write why you'd like to tour the galaxies with the Traveling Circus from Outer Space, and then come back the day before you left. Deposit the box top entry inside a self-addressed stamped envelope with your picture on the back and drop it off at your favorite neighborhood post office. Offer valid in participating galaxies only. Albert opened his notebook to the answer he had been working on for a few weeks now. He and Wilbur had studied secretly and independently on crafting their answers. Albert's answer for the contest was shaping up like this. I would like to tour with the Traveling Circus from Outer Space because once when I was a child I thought the stars were reachable and touchable. I never once lost hope that the future would ever find us. Once when I was lost, I looked beyond the other side of the sky until I heard the circus calling me back from deep inside. Albert looked across the table to Wilbur. You got your answer yet? Finished, bragged Wilbur, as both planted their answers into the secret envelopes. Come on, Albert. Let's drop these off at the post office on the way back to Mr. Silverton's. The Nerschwinkel Wenchneck elves are really chattering tonight. I could hear them all the way from the house. Albert slapped down some change on the counter by the cash register and led the way back outside, being met by a stiff breeze. It was now drizzling slightly and turning into a misty night as some splotchy clouds crept in and out of the moonlight. The sky was of intense interest tonight as both Albert and Wilbur dawdled down the sidewalk, looking up anxiously, hoping to catch sight of the traveling circus from outer space. Albert and Wilbur soon made it the few blocks back to Mr. Silverton's, walking through the iron gates of the huge estate and up the long driveway. Mr. Silverton, sure enough, was standing visibly from the third-story terrace of his monstrous white mansion. It looked as though he were singing as he bobbed around, moving his hands in expression. It wasn't until the boys were below him did the zillionaire notice them and promptly tossed down a couple of energized chocolate bars from his velvet smoking jacket. Wilbur instantly ripped off the wrapper and took a crunch. Sounds like the elves are very plentiful tonight, Mr. Silverton. Correct, Wilbur, informed Milton, smiling underneath his snow-white mustache. They are out there, very much out there, and plucking my prize roses, I might add. Come on out here, Milty, Albert suggested. No, I can't possibly, puffed Milton. Tonight is the night of the Zillionaire's midnight ball, and I am being honored. He stopped and quickly caught his breath. So you see, fellows, I couldn't possibly join you. Now remember, get to work, and you'll get 10 cents a minute plus a reward if you happen to catch me one. Good luck and go get 'em, men. Milton chuckled as he waved his college pennant and retreated gallantly into his study. The boys disappeared around the backside of the mansion. Reaching the other side, they stood surveying the entirety. They could see mostly everything, but only within a limited distance as the drizzle mounted. The two quietly sneaked towards the grove of trees, hoping to startle an elf and catch one off guard. Down a long embankment, weaving in and out of the tree trunks, Wilbur suddenly spotted an elf, a Nerschwinkel Wenchneck. Wilbur motioned to Albert and whispered, You take the right diametric angle and the cutback surround approach. I'll head the other way. Over rolling mounds of lawn, ducking in and out behind majestic rose bushes, Albert carefully crept closer to the elf, quietly signaling Wilbur by flashing his arms as they closed in from opposite sides. The dimness was now changing as the moon started to peek around the fragmented clouds. Albert and Wilbur crept by way of a thin slice of moonlight, drawing closer now to the small object, now seeing that it was in fact a Nerschwinkel Wenchneck, napping carelessly beneath a bird bath.